me, Jordan, back with another video. You can probably hear the wind. I'm stuck in this mess. Sora 2 dropped me right into a blizzard out here. It's cold, it's loud, and I can't even see the road.
I told the model to put me back home, but it had other plans for me. This is awesome!
You guys aren't gonna believe where I am. I gotta get out of here. Alright guys, I figured I'd have a little bit of fun with the intro, switch it up a little bit because yes, Sora 2 is here. OpenAI just dropped, in my opinion, and mostly everybody's opinion, the most insane text/image to video AI generation video model to date. It is absolutely unbelievable. The physics are like no other video model we've ever seen. The prompting is so easy. It makes natural cuts. It just does everything better than what we all thought were possible with AI video generation. And as you guys know, this is a channel where I teach you guys how to build systems in n8n, and I couldn't have thought of a better time to build something cool in n8n that builds videos automatically like the one you saw in the intro and the ones like this.
What's up guys, Officer Romero here. I'm on break right now and I thought I'd fire the camera up for a minute. A lot of you keep asking what it's really like out here, and honestly, some days are pretty routine. Others, not so much.
The reason I stopped you is you were doing 49 and a 30. Mind telling me what's going on here? Yeah, I see that you're a good boy, but you still can't drive without a license. Is there a human around?
All right, buddy, let's get you out of here. There we go. Hey, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, good boy. Look at that tail. That's a happy pup.
We were able to create each one of those videos and stitch them together automatically by using this front end Airtable base that I created. And once again, just using this backend system that I built in n8n. So without further ado, let's give a walkthrough, a node by node breakdown, and then hopefully you guys will be able to build it and use it for yourselves. All right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is when you build your first table, it's going to have a bunch of random fields here that you're not going to want. Like it just adds fields. All you're going to need to do is right click on the field you don't want and delete it. Pretty much delete every single field, and this one is mandatory. So this one is usually going to be name. All you're going to have to do is double click on it, type in capital I, capital D, and then field type, you're going to want to put auto number. So type auto number pulls up, click it, click save. So as of right now, for your Airtable setup, you should have ID with the number and then nothing else here. And then we're going to get into each field by field. The next one is a status field. Just come into here. All you need to do really, there's a plus sign over here. So just click plus and then look up status, or you can just look down here for it. And then whenever you click status, literally just name it status, and then it's going to be a single select, and then click add option, so that way there's two. Make the first one ready, the second one complete. For right now, we're going to skip any of the buttons. We'll walk through them as we walk through each one of the systems, but for now, just don't worry about anything that says button. The next one we're going to do is opening frame. This is an attachment field, so go ahead for find field type, just look up attachment, or it's the fourth one down. Name it opening frame, and then in parentheses if needed. The next one we're going to do is a long text field called video prompt 1, and then the field type is just long text. Then we have a URL for field type, so just search URL here and then name it video 1 link. Next is an attachment field called end frame 1. The next one we have is a long text field called video prompt 2, a URL field called video 2 link, an attachment field called video 2, and then another attachment field called end frame 2. Then a long text called video prompt 3, a URL field called video 3 link, an attachment field called video 3, and then a URL for a completed video field title. Once again, don't worry about the button fields. We'll get to those when we start breaking down the individual workflows. All right, so let's get into the first system, which is the generate the opening scene. This is going to lead us into our first button. If you remember here, I told you to leave the buttons alone. This first one is called generate opening frame. Okay, now what it is it's a button field. So scroll down to button, click on button, and then it's going to be button. You get to click the style of the button, and then the most important part is going to be the formula. Let me explain that here in a second. To be able to get that formula for that button to work, it is called a webhook. So we need to go over here to the plus sign, click on webhook, and it's a node that will pop up for you. After the node pops up, you will just have this specific trigger here called webhook. Go ahead and click into it. It's going to give you two different URLs. You're going to have a test URL here and a production URL here. For now, let's just leave it on test. Leave everything else alone. All you're going to want to do is click. So it's going to copy the URL to your clipboard. Go into the button that you're creating. It's going to ask for a formula. You want to copy this exact formula. The only thing that you need to make sure is different for you to make sure it calls on your system is, you see this URL here? This is my webhook, okay? So this is this URL. Your URL is going to be different. So everything before the question mark record ID needs to be your URL, okay? So all you would do is just click backspace right before the question mark, paste in your webhook, and click save. Everything else is the same. The question mark record ID equals quotation mark. All this stuff needs to be the same. Everything except make sure it's your URL. After you do that, you just click save. And now all we're going to do is test to make sure that that webhook is hooked up to our formula. And the way we're going to test this is go into your webhook node, click listen for test event, and then the button we just configured, just click that, click the button, and then you can see here that we got a green check mark and it output our information. Our button's good to go. Now that same exact formula is used for every single one of these buttons. So you can go ahead and just get a head start, create all of these buttons here, text to video 1, image to video 1. If opening frame exists, you can put continue video 2, new video 2. Now when I say the formula is the same, the body is the same. But the only thing that's different is each one of these buttons has their own webhook, you can see here. So all you'll need to do is when we start creating each one of these workflows, just change out the URLs for the webhook. So if you want to get ahead, go ahead, pause the video, make all those buttons using that same formula you have for this button, and then just note that you're going to have to change the URL later, but you can get the buttons figured out. All right, to explain exactly what is happening in this video, I will show you because we're actually going to make an image and opening frame together. But all that's happening is whenever we send a webhook, if you remember, part of the formula was the record ID. So all this does is create like a unique set of letters and numbers, basically giving this exact row in our Airtable a specific formula to be able to have it recognized by the system to know exactly which record we're trying to create, okay? So all we're going to do is get the get record from Airtable. We're going to basically identify the record by, remember, the formula that our button gives it. And then all we're going to do after that is just update it to ready. So right now you should have your webhook, get a record, and then update a record. Let's go ahead and show you exactly how this whole thing works. Also forgot to mention, we do need to make another field. It is long text, and just call it video idea. The reason why we are making this here is because we want our prompting agent that I'm going to show you here in a second that actually comes up with the image prompt to know what kind of video we're trying to make. But you don't have to use a video idea, because if you get a cool image off the internet, then you can just use that as the opening frame. So the generate opening frame button is only if we don't already have an opening frame that we got off the internet, or maybe our camera roll, and we wanted an AI generated image to start as the opening frame. So let's type in a very, very simple video idea. We'll say a cartoon banana jumps into a swimming pool. Swimming. And let's test out our first couple nodes. Once again, listen for test event, click our button. Now we got the information here. We're going to check to make sure it grabs the right record, so record ID. And then we're going to go in here and make sure our update status to ready, and making sure that there's no opening frame works as well. There we go. Now the next thing is we have an AI agent node, so go ahead and click the plus sign, AI agent. The model that we're going to be using is GPT-5 Mini, and I just gave it a simple tool called Think just to look over its work. The system and user prompt that we use is pretty simple. Just saying, hey, you're an expert AI prompt engineer, specializing in creating ultra clear photorealistic text to image prompts. A couple of rules that we gave it here. Feel free to pause the video, copy it for yourself. And then just this very simple user prompt saying, hey, make the image prompt based on this video prompt and video idea. So we just fed it in the video idea that we typed, which was a cartoon banana jumps into a swimming pool. Now we know that this can't generate the image itself. It just generates the prompt. Well, how do we actually get access to Nana Banana from n8n? Well, it's something called connecting an API, or an API request, using an HTTP node in n8n. Very simple. Go over to the plus sign, click HTTP. It'll pop up. Click on it, and yours will look just like this. I'll show you how to configure it in a second. So if you can see here, mine looks like this, and I'm using what's called Open Router. So all you're going to need to do is go to openrouter.com. So all you need to do, go to Open Router, make an account, add some credits. You get like $5, $10. It's totally worth it. And then you look over here in the search bar, type in Nano, and then the Nano Banana image preview or whatever will pop up. The next thing you want to do is go to API, scroll down to here, and then click on curl. Click copy, and then go back into your n8n. So after you get that, you want to go input curl. You want to paste it in here, and then you want to click import. Once you import it, yours will look just like this. So all you're going to need to do now is take your API key that you created and then just replace that with your API key. And the next thing you need to do is just configure some things in the body request. So this is how your body request will look, and let me show you what it's supposed to look like. So for what we're trying to do, all we need is this. We just need the model, we need the user content, the type, which is text, and we're sending it over as a prompt. We don't need the image URL because we're not giving it a reference image to edit. We want it to create an image from scratch. So go ahead, pause the video, and then copy this for your body request. Let's go ahead and test our prompt engineer here. All right, so it came up with this prompt: a hyper detailed photorealistic 3D render of an whatever that says, cartoon banana suspended above a backyard swimming pool in a single frame, glossy bright yellow banana. Basically just coming up with an image prompt. Now we just need to test our HTTP request to make sure we have access to Nana Banana, and we're going to get our image right over here. So just go ahead and click execute step. All right, guys, there's a 99% chance that you got an error, and that's because we just had JSON.output in our prompt here. But what we need to do is sometimes whenever you're using JSON and like you send over some body requests, these double quotes and stuff that our agent comes up with will break the JSON. So you need to have this custom JSON expression. You can go ahead and pause it and then just take a screenshot and ask your ChatGPT to type it out for you. But all this does is it stringifies it, and then it also just makes sure that there is no double quotes, no new lines or anything like that, and it's just one clean string of text that can get processed and sent over as a JSON body request. So let's go ahead and let's test our Nana Banana node once again. All right, so we got our success message. Now, what do we do with this image? Well, if we go back to our Airtable here, we have an opening frame attachment field. We need to figure out how we get that image URL into our attachment or opening frame field. Our Airtable kind of sucks for this. They don't have an organic integration where you can just upload files to your bases. So we had to do this customly in an HTTP request. Very simple to set up. I'll show you here in a second. I already made a video on how to do this, so I'm not going to take too much time on it. But pretty much you just need to do an authentication method post. You need to just upload your Airtable personal access token, which you would have needed to do anyway to just use the actual regular Airtable node. Just name it, and then you need to just have send body on, and you need to just copy this body. So go ahead, pause it, and copy the body. The next important thing is the actual URL that we're sending to. So it'll be this exact URL, https://content.airtable.com/v0/ and then this app right here is custom to whatever your Airtable base URL is. So if you can see here, mine is app, whatever I just had there. Yours is going to be different. So all you need to do is just copy that part from this slash to this slash, and then just change this out for you, okay? And then if you remember that we track the ID to identify the record. So if you can see here, we're referencing get a record for. If we go over to get a record for and we see this ID here, all we're going to do is just drag that in between the opening frame, this slash, and then the slash before you just pasted your ID or your table ID. And we're just going to drag that over here. The next part of the URL will be another slash. And then this is just the field name, which if you copy the field name, you should just have it already. So capital O for opening, %20. So anytime you have a space, instead of actually having a space in URL, you just put %20 and then frame. So if you look here, we have opening frame, but we need to put if needed. But to keep it simple, honestly, instead of putting if needed, that way we don't have to do more %20 stuff. Just going to delete it and then just leave it as opening frame. And then just slash upload attachment. So what's going to happen is it's going to take our photo here and then upload it to our Airtable. All right, great. It worked. Let's go see what image it was able to come up with. So we go to our opening frame field here, open it up, and that's pretty good. Nana Banana is very good. It's the best image generation model we have. And that's pretty good. So we have multiple options we can do now. Is we can make Sora videos using this image as the opening frame for our video idea of the banana jumping in the pool. And or can we also make a Sora 2 video without giving it an image and let it just come up with the opening frame itself, compare each one of the videos, and then we can be so versatile. We can go with this one, we can go with that one, we can create a second video. But first, let's just make a video with and without the image. So now that we have our opening frame, we need to come up with a video prompt. What do we want this banana to do? All right, so we're just going to come up with this prompt. A cheerful cartoon banana wearing swim goggles jumps into a backyard pool on a sunny day. Banana dives in with a splash, surrounded by water droplets, ripples, fun, colorful 3D animation. The banana is laughing like a little kid. laughing. A little kid. So let's generate a video with it and then without it. So if you can see here, I have the system broken down into two different sides. I have videos with opening scenes. All this is just the same workflow, copy and pasted. I only plan on stitching 3 videos together max. If you want to stitch 6 videos together and make minute-long videos, all you need to do is just keep copying and pasting this workflow. You can do it 100 times. But I just did it for 3 videos just to keep it simple. So I have videos without opening scenes just based on prompt, and then I have videos where we give it an opening scene. So if you look here, both workflows are the exact same. The only thing that is different is we're using image to video for the Sora 2, and here we're using text to video for Sora 2. So I'll just walk through one full workflow, and then all I'll do is show you the difference between each one of the HTTP request nodes, because that's the only thing that is different between these workflows and these workflows. And then lastly, I'll show you how we stitch them together automatically, which you can also do manually as well. But let's dive into how we're generating these videos. So as always, you remember with the buttons, all we did here was a webhook. So hopefully you already set up those buttons, and the only thing you need to do with your webhook is just change the URL out, okay? So for this button, it's the video 1, no opening scene. So I just copied this URL, went into the image or text to video 1, which means no opening scene, right? Because we're just using text to create the video. And then the other button for this workflow, which was video 1, image to video 1, or video 1 opening scene. I just created another button and then copied that URL into it. So we have 2 different options for video 1. The next thing we did was the Airtable get record, which is literally the exact same configuration that we did for this one up here. All we're doing is just getting the record ID to make sure we are working with the exact record and video prompts and everything that we want to work with. All right, here is the important. This is how we actually call onto Sora and get our video back, okay? I made a video doing this with video 3. It's almost identical. If you remember, I talked about using a software called key.ai, and I'm going to show you real quick how to set that up. This is how we get access to Sora 2 if you don't have access to it already. So it's an HTTP request node. So go over here, just get your HTTP request out, leave it blank, and then I'm going to show you how to set up an account on Key AI. So we go over to Key AI, just make an account, ask for an API key. I'm pretty sure if you add a payment method, it gives you like $10 in credits to work with for free. If not, just go ahead and add like $5. It's 1,000 credits to let you play around with it. And then you just need to come in here, create an API key, and then just copy the API key. Don't do anything yet. Just to keep your API key somewhere, just go ahead and like toggle headers on and then just paste it in here and just leave it there for a second. Or if you don't want to copy it yet, you want to do it after, no worries. This is where you just kind of know where your API key is. A thing that I recommend doing to keep your API key safe, though, is just coming up with your own authentication. So authentication is generic. Your authentication type is header, and then you want to name it. So if you go into the pencil here, I just named it key because that's what I'm using, and then type in authorization and then paste your API key into here, click save, name it, whatever you want to name it. And then every time you create an HTTP request to key, you won't have to redo this whole process. You already will have kind of like your own credentials set up for it. Now, similar to what we did for the n8n HTTP request, we're just going to go copy a curl request from key, paste it in, and then do some things in the body, and we already have access to Sora 2. So over here on the left-hand side, if we just go down to API Market, okay, and then we look for Sora 2, go ahead and click on it. If you remember, this first one we're setting up is just text to video. We're not sending over an image, so we'll go ahead and make sure it's on text to video. Next thing you want to do is click Run with this API. And the first thing we want to do is make sure it's on Create Task. This basically just means we're sending over our video prompt saying, hey, I want you to make this video. Scroll down to where you see curl request example, copy the curl. Remember, import curl, paste in your curl there, and then go ahead and click import. And then this is exactly what your stuff's going to look like. Now remember, you already set up your credentials, so all you have to do is turn off headers, go to authentication, generic, select. Remember, it's header auth, and then you have your Key AI account already set up, so you don't even have to worry about sending over the headers. Now for this, we just want to change the prompt over to nothing yet because we're going to feed in our own prompt. So where it says prompt and then the words, make sure you leave in the double quotes, but anything in between the double quotes, just go ahead and erase. So it should look just like that. For standard, go ahead and backspace standard and then just put lowercase hd. Aspect ratio depends on if you're like trying to make vlogs or this or that. Since I put those into a YouTube video, we'll go ahead and I left it in landscape. But since we'll have the duck and we want to post it on like YouTube Shorts or TikTok, so we'll just change it to portrait. So aspect ratio is portrait, and then we will just go ahead and remove this callback URL here. So this is exactly what your body should look like right now. Matter of fact, this is exactly what your HTTP request node should look like for all of your text to video workflows because they're all the same. So this is exactly how you call onto Sora 2 with Key AI. Now let's go over here to our image to video one, and let me just show you the only difference we have here is the model changes to Sora-2-image to video, and then another section here called image URLs gets input under our prompt. You literally can see it is the exact same body as the other one. The only thing we added was a different model and then image URLs. If you don't want to make these changes manually, you can just go over into the API, go over to Sora 2 image to video, create another HTTP request node, copy this curl, and it'll just already have the body ready for you. You just got to add your credentials again. But if you remember, we created the video, but we need to be able to get the video back because, what are we going to do if we just create the video, but we don't have a way of getting it back to us? So all you're going to need to do now on Key AI for both text to video and image to video, you got to do it for each one of your workflows, is change this to query task get. Same thing, just copy the curl and input it into another HTTP request node. Very simple. So all you'll need to do is add a wait node. I mean, you don't have to do this. Now this is necessary over here. It's called polling, but I'll get into that in a second. But just add a wait node, wait 2 minutes, and then we're going to check to see if our video is done. All I did was import that curl. I added my credentials that you already created. So same thing, generic credential type, header auth, and then header auth was key, the account you already created. And then the only thing you need to do is check on query parameters. Using fields below, type in this exact task ID, and then this exact right here. This exact expression right here, because you need to name this node generate Sora video. So go click onto the node, and right up here it's going to say HTTP request, whatever number it is. Make sure you type in generate Sora video, and then make sure in this node for the query you send over this exact expression, because that's how we get the video. Because when a video is created, it gets assigned like a task ID. Literally do the exact same thing over here. It is the exact same thing. The only thing that changed obviously is generate Sora video 2, because if you see the node from the previous one, it's generate Sora video 2. The exact same thing. And if you could have guessed it, it's the exact same thing for all of these workflows. Literally all of them. I'll show you the only thing that changes between them. So if you wanted to make 10 videos, you literally just keep duplicating the nodes, changing a couple things around, and now you have unlimited workflows for making videos and stitching them together. So the next thing that happens is a technique called polling, right? Because we have a post, meaning we're giving it our order, and then now we have a get checking. But if our video order is not ready yet and we try to pass it through here, then we have nothing because the video is not done being made yet. So we have a simple if node here and saying json.data.state, which is what gets passed through here, is equal to success, meaning that it is done. It then will process the video and pass it through this simple OpenAI node that just cleans up the URL. I'll show you that when we actually get the URL. Just makes it a very, very clean URL that we can click onto and download, and then uploads our video to our Airtable. But if it's not done yet, if the status is waiting or failed, we have another wait node, so it'll go down the false route, obviously, because it's not success. So it goes down the false route, waits another 10 seconds, checks it again, until it says success, and then we get our video back. Literally the exact same framework for every single one of these workflows. And then the last node is just adding the video link to our Airtable. That way we can download it and start to make videos with it. All right, without further ado, you guys know how to build all of this stuff already. I can show you the only differences between making multiple videos, you know what I mean? But let's make our duck or our banana video with no opening scene, and then our banana video with an opening scene, and see which one we like. So to start with our image to video, we're just going to click listen for test event, go over here, go image to video. All right, so we got that to work. We just need to make sure we grab the right record. We should get a success here. And the only thing you guys are going to need to do, remember we are creating the image one, the starting opening frame one first. So if you see here, we named it opening frame. See this URL right here, wherever it says image URLs, drag that in between the double quotation marks. And there we go. We now have our HTTP request node. All that's going to happen is we're going to click it. It's going to create our order, remember, and then we're going to wait, get the video back, upload the video link to our Airtable. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, so our system worked. We got our video link here. All you need to do then is just click on it, download the video, and then drag the video over into your video one attachment. And let's watch and see what we got. So remember, this is the one that started with our opening frame. This was the image.
Whee! Splash! This water's awesome! Best jump ever! Hiya, Pulse! This
All right, so not too bad. It started exactly with our character, the frame we wanted. And obviously, some of you dark-minded guys, we can get pretty funny, especially if you've ever seen the movie Sausage Party, with this video from here. But let's go ahead and see what Sora is able to come up with without giving it a video reference with our image prompt, or with our, our video prompt. Same thing, we're just going to go into our video one with no opening scene, listen for test event, back into here, video one, grab the record we want. Great. Make sure we get the right record, make sure this step works. Good. And as you can see, this lights up green. Once we go ahead and click the rest for execute, we'll just click on this, click execute. It's going to run it through the same thing, and we'll get another video. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so we got our another video and another video link. So let's go pull up and watch the one without the image reference that we gave it and see what it came up with.
Ooh, here I go! It's so splashy! Whee! This is the best!
All right, not that good. So clearly we're going to go with the image one on this. So let's go ahead and delete this one and continue on with our image one. So we just deleted the other one. We're going to keep this one, and now we can have some fun with it. So we're learning with the kind of video that we're trying to make. It's doing good with the image reference first, with what we want it to look like. So if you see here, we ended this end frame one attachment. Now what that's going to do, if we go back to our n8n workflow, you can see continue video 2. It's literally the image to video 1. The only thing we changed was obviously you have to make sure you're referencing the correct node. So end frame 1 for the image URL, and then everything's the exact same. The only thing we did for the prompt is the image provided to you is the opening frame of the video. Here is the prompt. So all we have to do to continue video 2 is obviously go back into here. We need to give it a video 2 prompt. But if you see, we reference end frame 1 as the image URL. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to go into here, right? We'll press play, drag it over to the end of the video. Once it loads, we're going to take a screenshot of the very last frame of the video, put that screenshot into end frame 1, and then now when we go ahead and we click continue video 2, it's going to use this end frame and this prompt video idea that we come up with, which we haven't yet, to then create a continuing of that video. So the prompt we're going to use is the cartoon banana jumping into the pool gets caught midair by a giant human hand. The scene turns dark, scary like a funny horror movie. The banana's face shows shock as fear, dramatic horror music starts. So now that we have our end frame and our video prompt 2, all we're going to do is click continue video 2 and get our next video. The one thing I forgot to show you guys real quick, and my apologies, is we just need to make sure we clean up the URL. So just go ahead and click an OpenAI node after the if here, and then the update record is pretty self-explanatory. We're just mapping out the video one link and then the ID. But for the record, for the cleaning up the link, all it is we're just doing json.data.result JSON, which is the link that we get from our video creation. We just want to remove the brackets, the quotes, the everything like that, just to make it just a clean URL. That way we can click on it and download it. All right, let's go ahead and generate video 2. All right, so it's done. We got our link. We clicked on it. We downloaded the video, drug it into video 2 attachment, and let's see what we got.
What is that? Let me go! Uh-oh, this isn't fun anymore.
All right, not too bad. It didn't do exactly what we wanted to do, and the cool part about this system is we literally can just delete this link, re-click the continue video 2 button, and it'll keep generating the video. And also, if we're like, okay, we don't like how it did that, after a couple of generations, we can just keep tweaking the prompt until we get exactly what we want. But as you can see here, another frame or another field we had here was end frame 2. We can just if we want to continue where that video left off, same thing we just did. Or if we want to just have the video go in a different direction, we can give it a video prompt where it cuts to like the banana on a podcast with like an apple saying, yeah, so that's the story of the time I almost got eaten. There's so many things we can do with the system. And then the most important one is the stitch videos button. And let me show you how we actually combine all these videos together. So obviously you can download something called CapCut and just do this yourself. But this is only going to be if we are in, what's it called? horizontal or landscaped aspect ratio. Okay, this system or this workflow right here, just to stitch videos together, will not work if we do vertical. So the videos we just did were in vertical. We don't want to use this. This is if we're creating like a horizontal, like kind of movie trailer kind of video, and less of like a vlog TikTok style video. So if you just go to fowlai.com, you add in some credits, you create an account. All you're going to have to do is go over to your account here, click on account, go ahead to click manage or get an API key. You can click add a key. It might already give you one, and then you just copy your API key. Then you're going to go up to the search bar here and type in FFmpeg, and then you're going to want to click on API compose. Scroll over to API, change this right here to curl, and then copy the curl. And if you see here, the setup is the exact same for all of our workflows. It's the webhook, so you just got to change the button out for this URL, and then the same exact get records with the record ID. The next thing is going to be a set node. I'm going to copy this exactly, just do video 1 because we have 3 videos. So this also only works, we have it set up for 3 videos. So we need to make sure that we have all 3 videos done if you want to merge 3 videos. 5, you add this, make it 5 videos, however many videos you have, okay? So video 1, Jason, this expression for video 1, video 2, same expression, video 3, make sure it just says video 3. All that does is get the links, splits the links out, okay? So you want to do a split out node that splits them out, and then for your HTTP request node, you want to do import curl. So we're going to paste the curl in here. Once you paste the curl in here, it's going to have like the headers toggled on with, remember, like the bear and then the foul AI token. But do the same thing that you did for key AI, generic credential type, header off. And then remember, create this. All you need to do is authorization and then paste in your foul AI credential, name it foul AI, and you won't have to worry about headers. And then sometimes the curl for foul doesn't work. So if you're having a hard time coming up with the body, just go ahead, pause it, take a screenshot of this, send this to your ChatGPT, and then it'll have it, it'll input it into your own, it'll give it to you, and then you can just copy that, paste it in here. The reason why we have 3, right, is because we have 3 different videos. So if you had 4 or 5 or 6, 7 different videos, you would just need to tell your chat to add 4 more or add 3 more URLs to fit the amount of videos you have. So once we call onto that with our 3 URLs, we're saying, hey, I just want to merge these 3 different videos. We then are just going to wait 1 minute. Once that minute's up, we're just going to use this GET request here. You can go ahead and pause it. We're using the same authentication, everything like that. We're just going to download the completed video, and then we're just going to add the URL of the completed video to our Airtable field here that says completed video. Now, what a completed video would look like after we did this would be like one that I showed you earlier of the cop and then the dog. Basically, I had 3 different videos, and I didn't use a starting frame, so that's why it cut to different frames, except if you see that the video from 2 to 3 was the same frame. That's what I'm saying. This system is so dynamic where I can generate video 1 with no text, but if I like where this one ended, how it looks, then I can just continue with video 2. But then if I'm like, okay, I don't want to end with this one, I want to create a completely new scene, new character, new everything, then I can just do video 3 with no opening scene. All these different combinations and then stitch them all together with this workflow only if it's in landscape. If it's in vertical, then you just upload them up to CapCut, cut some things out, and then you have your completed video. All right, guys, so that's it. I know I didn't really go into depth on everything. I just think with the last video I posted where I went super in depth, it's like an hour-long video, you guys would already have a good understanding on how to build these kinds of systems. Sora 2 does require an access code. There's a mobile app you can get where you can even upload your face, and it creates like your own AI character. But you don't need to have an access code if you're using this system because we use a third-party system like Key AI to generate these videos. So I hope you guys learned how to build this system. I hope you guys are now having fun playing around with the new amazing world-class AI video generation model, Sora. And go ahead and leave a like, comment. I really appreciate the support. We're almost at 20 subscribers. Your guys' support helps me make these videos. I love doing this and teaching this for you guys. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.